can't be free. Everybody wanna judge, say I'm a thug, I'm a player, I'm a simple, why I can't be me? When I walk up in the store, all the Karens get to staring at me. Put my heart in my music, it's still on my sleeve. Everybody been portrayed.
So fam, what's the word? It's your boy Spiritual Trey, and it is now episode 63 of the Soulful Thoughts blog. And today we're gonna be talking about the 9 steps to building a child's self-esteem in a healthy way. Now, before I jump into it, I know a lot of y'all gonna look at how young I am, and y'all gonna wonder, how the hell do I know how to raise a child when to a lot of y'all I probably look like a child, right? To a certain extent, you're right, because I haven't raised a child yet. You feel me? I do got one on the way. That's due March 22nd, by the way. You feel me? And by the way, my baby mama is on the side of me right now. We taking a little walk. She don't want to be on camera, you feel me? But if y'all see me talk to somebody, that's who I'm talking to. So, yeah. The reason why I feel comfortable enough to do this topic, though, is because just like everybody else, I have experience as being a kid. And I suffered through self-esteem issues to a very large degree growing up. And now that I'm in an older position and I have this, higher sense of awareness, and I can look at my past from higher angles, I came to the conclusion that, it's a lot of things that, even though my parents had great intentions, it's a lot of things they could have did to help improve my self-esteem and, and better prepare me for the world. So with that being said, let's dive right in. Step 1 to building a child's self-esteem is to compliment them early and often. I don't got to stay too long on this topic because it's pretty simple. You feel me? Just compliment your child on everything that they get into. Anytime they show you a drawing they done drew or some new fit that they done put together, even if it looks silly, like just compliment your child's, abilities in every area of life. I don't got to spend too long on that. That's common sense why you want to do that, right? Now, step 2 to building a child's self-esteem in a healthy way is to not rush their progress. The reason for this is, it's simple. You don't want to, because I know as a parent, you don't want your child to go through the same things you've been through, right? So you'll want to give them a lot of premature warnings on things that they can run into, like, for example, when they might get into school or when they get into the work area. And when you see them going through certain phases, like they might go through certain phases where they want to follow every trend, they being a follower, or, something like that. You feel me? Something that might rub a parent the wrong way. Allow your child to go through those phases so they can understand why those phases are harmful to them. Because you can preach all day and night. The true teacher in life, though, is experience. Ain't no spirit gonna listen to just no words until they've been through enough experience to respect the person's word that's been through experience. Y'all get what I'm saying? So y'all got to kind of let your child go through the experiences of life. Even if you can see them about to run into a brick wall, let them run into that brick wall so they can know not to go that way no more. That's the only way they're going to truly learn. Trust me. All right. Now, step 3 is another simple one. Introduce, but don't force your beliefs. Once again, you can introduce your child to your beliefs, such as your religious systems, the way you think people should operate in society and all that type of stuff there. You can introduce that to them because there's nothing wrong with them having a foundation. But do not force your beliefs on your child. Why? Because that's placing a limitation on them. That's placing a cage over their progression. And we all want, we all would love to have the golden child, right? The child that come through and break all the generational curses. How's your child gonna break the generational curses when you want them to stay within the confines of the generation, of the generational mindset? Allow your child to grow, venture off into other areas, and you never know what the hell they could come up with. They could end up inventing some shit you never knew was possible. And if they were so stuck on what the hell you think of life, they would have never came across that. I hope I'm making sense. But don't place limitation on y'all child by forcing beliefs on them. Now, step 4. Step 4 to building a child's self-esteem. Explain your actions and answer their questions. Let me say it one more time. Answer your child's questions and explain your actions. Don't be this macho and your ego ass parent that's always telling your child to stay in the child's place. If you telling them not to do something, explain to them in a calm manner why they shouldn't do that. Now, is it a chance they gonna disobey your word and still go do it? Yes, but that's when you let life teach them. Whatever happens to them, you don't gotta feel no bad because at least you put your word in their ear. And then another reason y'all want to do this is because it's teaching the kid conflict resolution. When you shoo a kid off with that stay in your child, when that stay in the child's place type of demeanor, they're gonna grow up and have that type of conflict resolution with everything they get into life. They're gonna feel the need that anytime someone wants them to explain themselves, they're gonna get into the energy that you in when you tell them to stay in a child's place. It's gonna cause them to not want to open up. You get what I'm saying? You don't want your child to be in a survivalistic mind state where they don't want to open up to people because they grew up in an environment where it wasn't comfortable for them to open up because they weren't old enough. Step 5, allow your child to make mistakes. I kind of just spoke on that on the last step, so I'm not going to stay too much on this one. Don't be too harsh on your child when they make mistakes, because keep in mind, you made them too. We all grew up and we all were young at one point, and we all made dumbass decisions, right? Just brace yourself, because your child is going to make some dumbass decisions. Whether they're a teenager or an 8-year-old or a 3-year-old, they all going to make dumbass decisions, man. The same way we did. So don't be a hypocrite. Now, step 6 is screaming and violence should be the absolute last resort. You should have just as much patience with your child as you do with all of the dumbass adults that's running around in the world. Especially if you work in any type of sales job, if you work in retail, any type of job where you're dealing with people. You know it's a lot of dumbass adults in this world, and you deal with them almost every day. If you can have enough patience with a dumbass adult to the point where you don't lose your cool and lose your job, you can have patience with your child, man. You do not have to always, every time they do something dumb, it's World War III. But if somebody your age do something dumb, you got the most patience and the most grace in the world. All right, now step 7 is super vital, right? Because a lot of parents end up forgetting this part of the process when raising a child, because we get so caught up in keeping them fed and keeping clothes on their back, going to work every day, we'll forget to show interest in this area. Step 7 is to help your child find interest. I can't tell y'all how huge this would have been if my parents would have did this for me. I'm 27 years old and still, running across new interests and shit. I just started writing books, family. And the reason I just started writing books is because I just started reading books for real. And I just got into reading probably about 5-6 months ago. Now it's developed into a talent. I got a book that's coming out next month. Well, no later than late February, late April. You feel me? I got a new book that's coming out. So I say that to say this. What if my parents would have, been constant enough to be on my ass and try to get me into new hobbies, such as reading, such as, maybe sports I wasn't into, or just new hobbies. And I'm not even saying that you necessarily got to force none on the child, but just introduce it to them. You never know what they might like. You feel me? And even if they seem uncomfortable at first, maybe you do have to add a little force energy in there, because a child can be too caught in their comfort zone, and sometimes you got to force them to grow. You never know what type of, passion they could develop just from you introducing them to a soccer field, for example, anyway. Now, step 8 is something that we should all be already striving to do. Step 8 is support your child the same way you wanted support growing up. If your child get into sports, you need to try with every fiber of your being to be at every single game. And if you can't be at every single game, you need to take time out whenever you can just to help your child work on their game. But yeah, that's pretty much the end of that. I'm not gonna stay too long on that stuff. Just make sure y'all support y'all children the same way you wish you were supported. Now this is the important part, because you don't want to create no asshole, right? Step 9 is to, what was it, baby?
Teach the art of modesty.
Oh yeah, I got her telling the steps to me, y'all, because I wrote them down. Step 9 is to teach the art of modesty and the weapon of humbleness, because confidence can transform into arrogance very quick, right? So you want to teach your child, to not be an asshole with their talents, not be an asshole with their gifts. Of course, that that's common sense. You don't want to have a child that's rubbing people the wrong way. You feel me? But at the same time, make sure you teach your child the art of people trying to weaponize them with the energy of humbleness. What'll happen is when a young spirit starts to feel resentment from their environment, they start to shrink themselves to blend in with that environment so they can no longer feel that energy. Make sure y'all, if y'all see that happening anyway, because remember, premature warnings are a no-go. Let your child experience. But if you see them, you know, in a situation to where you can see them being limited by their environment because of, you know, other people's hatred and resentment, make sure you teach them to, you know, humbly shit on them. Don't humbly become humble. You feel me? Have modesty and modestly shit on them just by continuing to be them. Just continue to be them and fuck all the naysayers. You feel me? Teach them the art of modesty and the weapon of humbleness. That's step 9. You do that, your child gonna have foolproof confidence. It's your boy Spiritual Trey signing out. Remember, you are not your mind. You are the spirit that's forming and creating your mind, family. But once you get to an adult stage and you have a kid, you're no longer just responsible for your mind, are you? You're now creating the mind of another spirit. You're helping another spirit form and create their mind. So take your time. See all of the angles that you wish you could have went down. See all of the angles that you wish you could have saw at a younger age and help your child build up their mind to attack life from every angle that they want to. Your boy Spiritual Trey signing out. Love you, family.
On the beat, start preaching. Feel no evil, see no evil but peep it. I don't aim for the stars, I want leeches. And the snake spawn, I'ma kill the whole species. Rest in peace to all the peaceful preaching. The youngest wildin', but to say they evil, that's kinda reaching. Who really controlling the way you thinking? Find the truth.